Hey there, Art. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. That all looks right. Can you hear me? It looks like it should be working. Wait a second. Can you hear me? Jim, can you hear Art?
I hear you.
Okay. Art, say something to Jim.
No, I see his lips moving.
Yeah, I can see him talking.
I like this. I may like this better, Art.
I can see him talking, but I can't hear him.
Probably have to reboot. We've been here before. Or plug your microphone in, one of the two. It's Windows. Oh, he's not running Windows though, is he? Well, I saw one of your receivers today, all band receivers. It's they have a chip apparently, the XI14 whatever, and they use an Arduino to drive the display on it for about $60 or so. Didn't look too bad. For $60 you get a speaker and the knobs, and it's already assembled actually. Here I am. I got a how the magnetron works thing you might be interested in, Leroy. It was pretty cute. It was simple. It's for, I call it magnetron for knuckleheads. Where'd you go? Oh. Oh, did you get one of those airplane things? That looks cool. Well, there's Frank. How did he slip in there? Man, I turned my back and there he is. Dang it.
I was just wondering what that was. What are we looking? Oh, flight aware.
How much did the module cost you, Leroy?
You muted, seems like.
Yeah, the one of the articles I saw had that a projector and they projected it on the ceiling. That was funny. And you could see where the airplanes were relative to looking up.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I
Okay. I don't know why this thing keeps muting.
Yeah, it seems kind of low though. Its volume is low.
I'll jack it way up. How's that?
That sounds good.
Okay. I don't know why it keeps muting. That's just so yeah, that was a flight tracker. That's actually the same one that you're talking about, Jim, where the guy projected it up on the ceiling.
Yeah,
Only I didn't install the stuff to project it.
yeah. Yeah, it looked cool.
So we could look at like right here, there's a flight number, ECJ71. So if you type that into the thing, ECJ71, you see it's an East Coast subs. You click track, ECJ71, and you hit enter. And you see that it is in Indiana.
Cool.
And I can hear, and I can pick that up. I can pick its transponder up where I'm at. It's there's its latitude and longitude. There's how high it is. It's 39,000 feet. And it's traveling at 553 knots. I guess that's knots. But you can see it's picking all that up. And if I go ahead and install the rest of the software, I can actually send this information to FlightAware and they can help track all these flights.
Wow.
But right now it is just receiving stuff. It's not sending the information anywhere. So that was actually kind of a cool thing. And it was super easy to do. Especially when you've already got the SDRs and stuff.
Yeah.
So, wait a second. Why aren't you clicking? There we go. So I put a link to what I did in on the site. And there's a picture of the SDR I'm using and the antenna, which is just sitting here. Nothing special about it, in the Raspberry Pi.
So that's just a regular SDR.
Yeah, just that's actually the SDR that I don't like, the
Oh.
cheapest one that I had that I
Huh.
really disliked. And it works really well for this project. So
Okay.
it's actually the same one that the original website that you showed. It's very similar to the same one that they're using.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And I don't know if everybody saw this, but the smart devices, the smart response devices, I finally got them to flash, and they're saying hello world, which is also on the in the forums. So they definitely will work with the Arduino IDE. Now I just need to figure out what to do with them.
Man.
I had 11. I have got all of them flashed except two. Two of them failed to flash and will not boot now. So I guess it was a bad flash. I'm not sure how to deal with that. But we got Art back. Can you hear us now, Art? I don't think Art can hear us. We can't hear Art. Hey, Art, are you on the website or using the client? They just released a new client. I don't know.
I don't think he can hear you. Probably should send him a chat.
Yeah, I don't think he can hear us. What do you got, Jim?
This is a solar light.
Oh, that's a bright solar light.
It is. This has got 100 lamps on it. They're about $5 a piece. I got a pack of 8 of them, and they are nice. And the raccoons hate them. That Ray will have to figure out this, man. Ray will love this. But they're really bright.
Wow.
So I got some out by the barn to encourage the raccoons to go and skunks to go the other way.
Just small encouragement. Just small encouragement.
Yeah.
I got quite a few new toys in this week.
Uh-oh. Leave and return.
Oh, okay. You're going to try one more time?
Yeah, there is a test for the sound and the video under the microphone and the video
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
I actually thought it was me until you came in, and then I could hear you just fine. So I know it's not me.
So you couldn't blame it on me. We tried to blame it on Frank.
Well, it's Art's fault. That little doodad is an I2C color sensor that I haven't really played with yet from M5. Now I'll tell you, there's a story why I ended up buying that, because I needed these pin headers to make the programmer, and I didn't want to spend $6 shipping to have just a 20-cent pin header sent to me. So I bought other stuff.
Oh.
Not real sure that I actually need other stuff, but I bought other stuff.
Oh, there's no question about that, Leroy.
Well, so I got the color sensor. I got a couple of M5 stack buttons. I don't know why, because they were cheap and it just seemed like the right thing to do. It brought the total up over the shipping cost, which was enough for me. And then I got another Atom Matrix. That was in one order, and I got some other stuff that came from China. These are little NeoPixels inside of there. So each one is individually addressable.
I started looking at shortwave receivers this week since you had the SDR stuff. And the small shortwave receivers, I was looking at which one was best. And I looked at one of them, and the best one turned out to be the one I had. So, geez. I had to drop some coins for that thing, man.
I picked up probably 4 or 5 months ago, maybe even longer than that. I got that shortwave receiver.
Is that the Sanjian or the Craig or?
No, it's a Retrofist. It's worse. It works really, really well. It's an MP3 player and a recorder. It's got an SD card slot for it. It works really well, except that the antenna is kind of crappy. It's got a cell phone battery. Yeah, it looks very similar to that. But yours is an expensive one. This one was $16.
Oh, that's about, yeah. Yeah, have single sideband on it? Man.
It has a couple of different modes, but it doesn't, I don't think it actually does single sideband.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the single sideband is going to get cheap here pretty quick with that XI14 whatever chip. It looks like they're using it with our Arduino. Jeez. Amazing. Oh yeah. Oh, digital PLL tuner.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's the worst part about this thing is that it has a horrible antenna,
Oh,
but it's got a voice recorder and all kinds. I mean, it does all kinds of stuff for $16, and it sounds good. It's got the AM, FM.
what makes me mad about this one is the AM receiver is not that great. And the FM is not that crisp either. Ah, there you go. Wow, thing.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if that sounds good. It's really loud. I've got my headphones on and I can. It's really loud. And it's got a lot of bass to it, which is very, very interesting for such a small thing. But it'll record off of the radio onto SD card, and you can record your voice to SD card. It's a cool little receiver for
Hey, kidding.
So, but that one was like $16. I found that on Amazon. I picked up a couple of ESP32 S2s that Arduino doesn't officially support.
And that would be what?
The S2s, they're a single core versus the dual core. But they've got additional features, like they've got onboard support for over the OTG, so they can emulate keyboards and mice and stuff. They've got a lot of them have SD card slots built in. Most of them have these little dip switches so you can reconfigure it to do other things. It's just they got rid of the Bluetooth out of it, but it's still got Wi-Fi. And they added a bunch of other features to it. It's an interesting chip that they announced a couple years ago and just now finally have gotten around to, I guess, all their testing and everything. They've finally gotten around to releasing it and everything. But until the Arduino IDE officially supports it, it's still going to be a hard sell for most people, because you've got to program it with the expressive IDF, which is a little tricky to set up, and it's not quite as friendly as the Arduino IDE. It's not hard, but it's not friendly either. And then I also picked up, I got 3 of these. I wish I would have read the description a little bit more. These are ESP8266s with motor drivers on board. Only they're single direction motor drivers. The motors only spin one way. So I figured I would try to add a NAND logic gate to it, so I can drop the voltage on one side and make it go backwards. But they came with 2 little tiny motors and 2 little tiny propellers. They were selling these things as an airplane kit, so you could build a little like paper airplane and put these little tiny motors on, tape them to it, and control it.
Is it supposed to fly?
I've seen a video of them flying, but I wouldn't exactly call it great. Of course, I wanted it because I wanted to build a robot out of them. And then once I got them and I realized that once I was always tied to the 5 volts, I was like, oh, what am I going to do now? I got 3 of these stupid things. So I said, maybe a NAND gate. Maybe I can just logic it out and make it work anyway. And the very, very last thing I got, which I'm not at all happy about, which I really, really wanted, but the support for it isn't there yet, is this Maxi Speedy Maxi Amogo. It's one of those AI boards, so it does the face detection and Aruka detection and all kinds of other detection. But it's got 2 cameras, one on the front, one on the back. But the support for it isn't there yet. and it's MicroPython programmable. And this thing has been around for a while now too, and it's surprising that they don't have as much support for it as I would have thought, considering how big the K210 chip has been in the past. But that was all my toys. I
Let
will-
me show you that.
I will have additional updates with my toys later. You all right, Frank?
No, it's allergy time.
Yeah.
I probably should have brought some water in here. But it's already getting to me. I bought one of those Arduino Super Starter kits. I also I got a Mac Mini from my son's. What is that?
That's a $60 shortwave AM/FM shortwave receiver. With the Arduino. This is probably like it's SI 4732. That's a chip, I assume, and they use it with the Arduino. Let me share this. Okay. Now, what was that you're talking about, Frank?
I always run into these situations where I'm talking to people about things that they're doing, or I'm trying to tell somebody how to do something, and I have a Windows computer and they have a Mac, and navigation doesn't translate, and so I finally got a Mac Mini.
Oh,
and a keyboard.
That's sacrilege. Has your son disowned you yet?
What's that?
Has your son disowned you?
Well, they bought it for me,
Oh, okay.
No, I start whining about something, and they will come up with it. The security on it is really it's just sort of bothersome. I haven't figured out how to disable. Let's say if you want to change a setting or something like that, you have to go and log in to change each setting. A little bit like Linux, except it's just easier. A lot of times you have to log into the cloud to do real simple stuff. And again, my problem is I haven't figured out how to turn it off yet. So I'm still learning.
Hey, we got rid of that loudmouth Art. Oh, yeah.
I think he can hear us. We still can't hear him though.
Oh, darn. Oh, darn.
Yeah.
Got caught. Down, up, down. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you. Remember Mac OS is based on BSD.
Yeah, that's kind of a nice part about it. You can bring up a terminal window, and you can do stuff.
Yeah, so it's similar to Linux, but it's different enough to be different.
Well, it's different. They are very controlling, which is bothersome. And I suppose after you use it for a while, it'll be less cumbersome. But the main reason is a lot of times I'm trying to tell them how to do something, and it's find the file, the navigation is different, and installing programs is different. And it's just sort of a lot of, I remember sitting up with a guy who just got his, he had an Apple laptop, and we were just trying to enable pop-ups. Just enable pop-ups on Firefox, and that was hour and a half exercise. You
Why would anybody want more pop-ups?
know? Well, you know, some of these online programs, these teaching programs,
Yeah,
you allow pop-ups
Yeah.
or they don't work. Um, so I decided to try to, you know, cut down on my wasted time by getting a Mac. Plus, it's something that I probably should learn how to use anyway. I mean, I resisted it forever, you know. I mean, since computers appeared, you know, it's just that was a sin, you know. Leave the Mac alone.
yeah, yeah. I don't have a big problem with Mac, but I don't know it quite as well as, you know, somebody that uses them all the time. I can get around in them, but that's about it.
That's generally it, you know. You will eventually be able to do things that you need to do. It just takes more time to do what seems like simple things.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think you're probably best to look at how BSD handles the file permissions and all that, because that's what it's based on. So
No, they have their own uh, set of preferences, and you know this is with the user interface, uh, and you're not getting to the you don't use the command line for almost anything. I had to use it because I had to reset my cloud account. It got to that problem. But most of the time, it's kind of interesting just seeing terminal being there and having it be familiar. But Apple sort of puts this their envelope around everything. Windows is a lot more permissive, and it seems like they don't intend, you know, even with two people using the computer, they don't intend for you to have. They want to be very, very secure. And you know, I somehow even somebody in the room with the computer, it just seems like it would be hard to hack it.
that is that was one reason why I didn't really like Apple.
Yeah, the reason I didn't like it initially was like everything was proprietary, you know. And I guess it still is in a lot of ways, but Apple over the years, they opened up a lot. One of the things I noticed about this computer is this one doesn't use an Intel chip.
Oh,
Apple's making their own chips now. This is
okay.
something called I think it's a M1, and it's about equivalent to a, what's the Intel, I thought it's equivalent to about an i3. It's not really fast, has 8 gig of memory. Performance wise though, it's not slow, you know, it's pretty decent. And you can download most of the common programs that you would use for Windows or Linux. You can install them, they work. So that's kind of a good thing.
Yeah.
And you know, even with some of the kids I work with, they don't have iMacs. They have these Apple laptops that they don't know how to use, which becomes a problem. One of my sons was talking to me about at Intel, they have some users that have Apple, and then you know people have Windows computers. They use Linux a lot now. But most of the people who will get an Apple, they know how to use a computer. So the support gets a lot less complaint, because generally when somebody will buy an Apple, they really know how to use it. So they don't have as many problems. But you know, my wife has iPhones, and it's amazing those lines that are at the malls, you know, talking to the genius.
Mm.
And things like that don't happen if you have a, you know, regular phone,
Yeah.
Linux kind of phone. People had to figure out how to make the phone work. But people would be, they just couldn't exist without the Apple genius. So they stand in the line, this guy comes out actually into the line, you can't even get inside, and and they're just making trivial mistakes.
Yeah.
And they fix them in the line. And this is supposed to be the most user-friendly phone that exists. How could we have so many problems? If and they charge more. Are we back online, Art?
No, I don't think so.
I guess not.
It's kind of good. I kind of.
Yeah, we can't hear Art at all. And I know Art has something to say. He's over there just chomping at the bit to try to say it.
That's like that.
You know what's going to happen is when we go back and we rewatch this video, we're going to be able to hear what he's saying.
Yeah. So how could we troubleshoot this?
It's kind
What a lot of people do on other calls, and people have like similar issues. So what they will do is they will be on Zoom with their computer, and then they'll call up with the phone, and you get the audio on the phone.
Yeah. Well, if Art had a Ham Shack hotline, we could do that. I've got a Cisco voice over IP phone connected to it.
We got test speaker and microphone under the microphone icon.
He's saying,
Tried that? Been there,
he's
done
saying SDR working. I've had this before.
it. Oh.
He's-
Yeah, this is like SDR, and
He's
your SDR virus is
he's
migrating over.
trying very hard. He's trying very hard to communicate, and we're down to like 5 minutes.
Oh,
But
interesting problem.
I don't know. Let's see.
Oh, Art, SDR may have messed up Zoom.
I don't know how the SDR can mess up Zoom. I suppose anything wacky is possible, but I don't know how that would happen.
That test thing
Yeah.
seems to be pretty comprehensive. But if it's working in the audio test speaker and microphone, if it's working there and it doesn't work on Zoom,
He
what
says
do
he's
you do
using a
then?
different desktop.
Mm.
Do you have more than one device?
Could try.
I have this camera, I have my monitor, everything has,
Could try Zoom on your phone.
That's what Ray does. Ray pops up on his phone.
On the phone, yeah.
Mm.
I don't know. I really don't.
At least it wasn't me this time. It's a crapshoot, Frank. This happens periodically. Sometimes it's me. See, it's not just me,
Well-
Leroy. There are other people who have this problem too.
Remember,
Almost normal people.
a month ago, my video didn't work. I shut down Zoom and restarted the new meeting, and my video was gone. Didn't work. So
lots of glitches.
We'll get a restart here in 5 minutes, so you don't have that shot. It'll probably be fixed up then.
I've got 5 minutes to troubleshoot it.
Sound like he's running Windows over there, though.
Yeah. So if this happened to me, I could start up my Mac.
Oh man, we're gonna have a Mac bigot. It's been a while since we had a good Mac bigot, Frank.
a good Mac fight.
Now it's not
Yeah.
a good time to be a Mac bigot because they're picking up steam, just especially with the young folks, they just Mac, 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 Mac.
Oh, yeah.
Mm,
You don't have an iPhone, you nothing.
Yeah.
I don't need an iPhone. Thanks.
In my camp, I used to notice the difference. It used to be the guys had Android and the girls had iPhones, and now everybody's got an iPhone. The guys have jumped over, they went to the iPhone.
That's just because they want to impress their girls.
or they bought the hype.
Yeah. Hey, you got to be in. Me and you. Now Frank's getting to be in the in crowd over there. Yeah, $1.40.
I'm gonna be in the
45. You in now? Yeah, Frank's cool now.
Yeah, the thing is, still, most of the people I know still like Windows.
I don't think anybody actually likes Windows. They just have to use Windows.
Use Windows. but
Yeah, that's pretty rude.
I'm on the Ubuntu bandwagon now, so.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh.
And I'm still learning it. You have to do things with Ubuntu the hard way. And I'm still learning. Now, once upon a time, I used to know Unix really well because I had to use it. That was the only thing I had. Then Windows came along.
And tell Frank's a geezer like me. He said Unix. You notice that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I get in trouble for, Frank, and they let you get away with it. Something wrong here.
Well, it's kind of like Linux is the original,
Yeah.
People don't relate to Unix.
I keep calling Linux Unix, which I know is wrong, but I do it anyway.
It's wrong.
It's wrong. I do it anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Why do you give me crap about it, man? Hey.
I do it. I admit it. Okay. I'll see you guys in a few.
Okay.
All right, maybe